Hello and welcome to another weekly webcast by London Cycle Link. My name is Daniel Hall. I am the Executive Director of London Cycle Link. And we don't have any guests today. We don't have a specific topic, but we wanted to continue this reaching out and sharing of what we're up to and giving you updates around cycling in London, Ontario. I'm joined by my co-host, Luis Patricio. Luis, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Good to see everyone again, and I hope you can watch this now or later. Like Daniel said, we don't have any external special guests today, but we've been so busy that we like to give a quick update of what we're doing right now and the plans for the summer. So yeah, let's get started. And I think we can start with the Squeaky Wheel Bike Co-op and the projects and the activities that are going there. Dan.
Yeah, certainly. So the free bike giveaway for COVID frontline workers is almost nearing its end. We partnered with Big Bike Giveaway, who's been awesome and providing pretty much all the bikes for the program, and they delivered their last load of bikes last week. And so I think to date we're about 110 bikes that we've given out to people, frontline essential workers, which is great. And it's been super exciting for us to meet the people, find out where they're working, how the bike is going to impact their life in a positive way, and just support them in that, help them with planning their route or showing them how to lock up, all the kinds of things that that sometimes we learn or take for granted because we've been doing it for a while. So that's been exciting.
And I guess some of them are actually new riders, right? They're not people. They haven't been riding a bike for years and years, and because they were concerned about taking public transit, they really saw this as an opportunity to try it out, and it worked. Am I correct? Do you have the numbers,
yeah.
like how many people are new riders? I guess we didn't collect that kind of information, eh?
Unfortunately not, but we heard lots of stories of people saying that, I haven't been on a bike since I was a kid or 20 years, or some exciting stories like that. Or, I used to carpool to work and now I can't do that. And so here's a way to get me to work. So lots of good stories about how it's going to benefit them, or sometimes it was even just around time saving, and it's going to be faster. It's going to be healthier. Those kind of things. So yeah, some exciting stories, and it was really fun to be a part of that program. Our Bikes for Newcomers program, that was kind of been on the back burner for a while, but we've done a few giveaways recently, have a few giveaways recently or upcoming that we're doing some bike giveaways for that as well, and so that's still on our radar, and we're hoping to partner with one of our community partners on that to support an event we're going to do as well, which we'll talk about later. But other shop updates at Squeaky Wheel is that it is open for do-it-yourself service. So if you want to come fix your own bike, learn along the way, we've had lots of people come in and learn new skills. They walk away with a bike that works, but also feeling like, hey, I just accomplished something new that I'll forever remember, or hopefully remember, and just feel more connected to their bike. So I think, there's been some really great stories and some great experiences in the shop for that.
And for people who are concerned still concerned with COVID and everything, what are the steps that we're taking to ensure the safety of everyone in the shop? And I know we've been planning this so we can reopen safely. So if you'd like to share a few things that we're doing to try to keep it safe.
Yeah, we're requiring anyone who's working with tools or on their bike to wear a face mask, and also to wear gloves, or they can either choose to wear gloves or wash their hands before and after. But that keeps the tools and the space is a little bit more crowded around the tools. So having face masks really helps protect everyone at the shop, both our staff and our volunteers, but also themselves.
And we have some face masks there, right?
Yep. Yeah, we have face masks for anyone who's using the tools if you forget yours. And yeah, just trying to keep the entryway nice and clear so that people can keep their distance, whether they're just coming in to purchase a lock or sign up for a membership or look for a used bike, and keeping the shop clean is the best thing we can do for that as well. And then we've got a limit on the number of people in the shop at one time to also keep our distance.
And I think we have a good problem at the shop right now, right? Like, can you talk about the workload that you guys are having with fixing bikes and getting bikes ready for people to ride?
It's a good problem and a bad problem in that, and a problem because, yeah, there's all kinds of...
Still a problem, yeah.
Still a problem. Lots of bikes, we started accepting tune-ups when we were closed to do-it-yourself service. And so we still have lots of those to finish up. We wish we were more timely in getting those bikes back to people. So we're doing our best, and I think we're sort of not accepting them right now in the short term, just because we've got to play catch up. We're starting to get a few more used bikes back on the floor. We'd sold out of everything, and so there's a few kids' bikes that are ready, and we're hoping to get a few more adult bikes ready as well soon. So for people who are desperate to get a used bike, thank you for your patience, and we're trying to get a few more out soon. So stay tuned to our website for that.
But hopefully we will be able to be more expedient, because we do have some help in the shop right now, right? Like, we have two new hires. Well, I guess Wyatt is not that new, but we just got Lexi too. How is their experience in the shop so far?
Yeah, I think so. For those who don't know, Wyatt is our new shop manager. He's been with us, I believe, since April or May. I can't remember now. And he's doing great.
Yeah, time is very fluid this time. Like,
I know. The COVID, sometime in the COVID.
Yeah.
And we hired Lexi as part of a Canada Summer Jobs grant. She's a local high school student, and was very involved with their robotics team, and likes learning sort of mechanical things, and is quite good with our computer system and social media as well. So yeah, she's learning lots every day, and is excited to share her skills with others. And it's been great having her presence in the shop. And yeah, feel free to come by, meet them, and certainly having the help goes a long way to catching up.
Yeah, and I had a chance to meet Wyatt and Lexi, and yeah, great people. It's great to have new staff, new blood in the shop. And well, is there anything else about the squeaky wheel specifically, then, that you'd like to mention? Any activities or things going on in the shop that I don't remember right now? I think we got it covered, right?
Got it covered, other than we got some flowers from the OEV BIA and the City of London, and so we have a nicer entryway now with a hanging flower basket. So thanks to them.
Yeah, that's great. So I want to jump straight into, well, bike rides per se. And myself, I know that I haven't been riding as much as I used to, just because I don't have to go to work. I can just stay home. So when I need to do grocery, or I need to take the kids for a bike ride in the neighborhood, but it's not that regular bike commute. So I even, I had itching legs, and I just went to Port Stanley on my Yuba cargo bike last weekend. It was about 110 kilometers. It was a nice ride. It wasn't as hot as today, so it was nice. Like, it was sunny, but it was cool. But because we had big plans for bike rides with the bike to work in May, and also I think our big bike ride would be just last weekend, right? June 14th. That was our plan. But then things changed, and we adapted to our current situation. And I think we do have some plans to share. So then, can you talk about how we're planning to encourage people and to get on their bikes and ride?
Yeah, I think another development is how many people are already riding in London, which is so exciting for me to see. I mean, from a public health perspective, sometimes the path being so busy is like oh no, but from a community building and sort of like, oh, it's so good to see everyone out and, walking and cycling and rollerblading. And so we want to, capture that opportunity by promoting more rides and giving people more excuses to get out and ride. We're calling it our Summer Ride Series. We're going to launch the first ride this Saturday, June 20th, the first day of summer. And it's going to be a weekly series. So each week we're going to release a new ride on our website. There's going to be a map with a planned route. You don't have to follow the route. If you have a better way, that's great. But this way, the route is, in our opinion, sort of a way to connect all the dots and a way that's still safe for families to experience it. And along the way. Oh, sorry.
And I think it's, for those who, like we're saying, for those who are not used to ride their bikes, maybe if you have a route, you have a plan, you have a map, it's easier for them. Oh yeah, I can do this. And I think our intention is also to connect with local businesses that need so much of our support nowadays. And I hope that with those rides, people can really, connect with those local businesses and support their local businesses. And I just want to say a big thank you to our board member, Jen Gilbert, who was kind of spearheading this idea and project, and some other board members like Haley Tallman, who already, took the initiative to create a route in her neighborhood. And I hope to see, and again, this is an open project. If you know a route in your neighborhood and you like to share, you can, help us create a map, or can create a map yourself. We'll be more than happy to just share this with all Londoners and just give another option for people who want to ride their bikes.
Yeah, certainly. And the hope is that the local host kind of thing, the person who created the route, maybe has some insight, whether it be the route itself in terms of being safe and enjoyable, but maybe it's something along the way, the checkpoints that we're putting on the map as well. Maybe these are hidden gems in the neighborhood that you get to experience if you go on these rides. And I know certainly even going for more walks in my neighborhood, I'm still discovering things. There's, the other day we went for a walk with my kids, and we found the fountain with the pretend ducks in it, and suddenly that's like a landmark now for us. So getting to share those like hidden gems with and the local businesses, like you said, with our community. So we're excited about that. Stay tuned. It'll probably be launched sometime today or even tomorrow for the first ride, and then we'll release one per week going forward.
Yeah, and I wanted to start with the more concrete, I guess, somewhat in-person activities that we were doing. But of course, we had to pivot a few things that we were doing to go online, and one of them was this webcast series. And you just reminded me of some of the conversations that we had. I think this is the 8th one, or
yeah. So.
And we did have those conversations of the importance of connecting with your neighborhood and knowing who your neighbors are, knowing what are the local businesses that is close to your house, and how does not make just it creates a more resilient household, neighborhood, and city, just because everybody's connected, right? I remember hearing so many people that would like to help and they just didn't know how, and also those people who needed help but they were just disconnected. And I think I hope I'm wrong, but I'm guessing this is not the last crisis that we're having. And I hope we can become more resilient. And one path to resiliency is to really this reconnection with our city and our neighborhood. And I think the bicycle is a great tool to achieve that. And in many senses, and as we had the conversations in our webcast, economically, socially, physical health, mental health, in so many ways. So Dan, would you like to talk a little bit about the online work that we've been doing with the webinars and webinar planned and workshops and the webcast and everything?
Yeah, so I think we've got a few things coming up. We're hoping to do a few more short videos profiling some of the work at Squeaky Wheel and empowering people even at home who maybe can't get to the shop. to learn how to fix their bike at home. So a few sort of maintenance related videos. And then we're also hoping to give some tips and do a webinar on biking to work and commuting tips, so that we can share some of the knowledge that a lot of us have gained from years of riding in all different situations, and share that with others who maybe this is a new thing, a new habit that they're starting and want to continue. And so we want to empower those people with the skills and the expertise that some of us have developed over time, and hopefully empower people to ride more. And then even as you're saying, like sometimes if you're working from home, there's this thing called the fake commute. And I think that's actually a really powerful tool as well, because I know for me, the bike ride is a really important part of my day to get my mind. I mean, it's getting my body going, but that actually gets my mind going. And so sometimes when I just walk upstairs and sit down at the computer, I feel sluggish and whatnot. And I think having the bike ride, as part of the day, even just to go for a quick ride around the neighborhood and come home and then go upstairs, even that alone is an important piece of, or can be an important piece that I think more people can benefit from. So we're hoping to help people with that webinar and some short videos. And I think, is there anything else I'm missing, Luis? I think that's it for what we've got coming up on our online.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I guess we started our COVID resource page,
Right.
and with tips of how to bike right now for people who want to start, and like how to bike safely, and also the articles, links, and news from London, from Ontario, from Canada, and from around the world about the good things that are like the best practices that are emerging of it's uncharted territory, right? But was just so amazing to see how quickly some cities would adapt and create more spaces for people to bike, more spaces for people to walk, and be outside in a safe and healthy way. The good news about how air pollution just plummeted, and we have for the first time in decades clear skies in very polluted cities, and how people now really want to see, don't want to go back to the normal as it was, but are willing to create this new normal. Right? There's just this research that came out last week, I think, and it's in Europe, but 3 out of 4 people, they're saying we need to do something to reduce our pollution. We just can't go back to the levels that we were before. And some governments are really, they are taking action, right? They're investing heavily in cycling infrastructure. And this is not only about the environmental side of it, but also they're thinking about their economic recovery and how much cheaper it is to invest on bikes, and how this can empower the local economy and save costs with public health and everything. And all those studies also that correlate air pollution with higher chances of getting COVID and everything. So there's just so many things that are interconnected, and they want to put together. It's not an exhaustive list. That there's just so many things happening out there, but they want to have there's at least a sample of the things that we can do as a city, and people are actually doing around the world to implement right now those things. And I think this it's a good segue for our last item and then we can wrap up. There is our advocacy work and our open letter and our campaign, and how we're working with the city to try and promote, to create more bike lanes and get to a minimum grid. So then would you like to talk a little bit about what we're doing on this work?
Yeah, so I think there's some exciting stuff happening on a few different levels. So one is that we are actively working with the city staff to have lots of conversations around how do we pivot, how do we encourage more people who are already starting to ride to continue that habit? How do we give them safe places? How do we connect? Unfortunately, our bike network that is disconnected right now, how do we make those connections so that it's more useful, it leverages what is already there, so that more people can ride safely and I've listened to a few things recently that's kind of sparked my thought. I mean, one of the things I was listening to a podcast last night, and one of the key determinants, or the main determinant of whether you bike or not, has nothing to do with your demographics, your income, your some of those have some value, but the number one thing is if you live close to a bike lane or a bike route. That's the thing that determines if you're going to cycle or not. It's not to do with race or gender or whatever. It's if you live close to a bike lane. And so the importance of infrastructure and how we need to and how it's an encouragement tool, right? It gives people another option, another mobility choice. And then what you were saying about air quality made me think too this week as I was doing some reading. The idea that poor air quality has disproportionately affected people of low income and often people of color in those communities, and how that's actually exacerbated some of the COVID-19 symptoms. And so again, just the idea of how important it is to improve our air quality while achieving all these other benefits as well, like you mentioned, economic and accessibility. So yeah, I think our advocacy work is more important than ever right now. We're excited to work with more partners. We're really trying to reach out to people in the community and have our advocacy committee empowered or comprised of more voices, so that we're getting the best campaigns and the best asks to City Hall and to politicians. But yeah, we're excited about what the future holds. I know Waterloo just received some money from the federal government and the provincial government to fund both public transit but also active transportation initiatives. And there had been some discussions and some hints that money was going to start coming for these kind of initiatives. And so I'm also hopeful for that maybe some important projects in London can be sped up because of higher level money. So lots going on there. Certainly if you feel empowered to even just write your local politician and say, hey, I want to see safer streets, I want more options to ride safely, I think that goes a long way to help our mission. And obviously becoming a member too is important for us to say that we represent, it's not just Luis and I, it's our organization and all the members who support it. And so if we have 500 members, if we have 1,000 members, that goes a long way to getting to the solutions that we're hoping for. So.
That's a great point, Dan. And I think there's a lot of more people biking, and we can see that in any neighborhood that you go to, or like you said, if you go to the bike trail, the TVP, it's so many people biking. And this moment is really an opportunity for people to realize the potential. And I think this is the importance of sharing the good stories. And there are a lot more people who are willing to think about bikes as a viable option for urban mobility. And I guess that the big question now is the how. And I hope we can work together to think about that how, like all of us together, government and businesses and people and nonprofits and school board. And it really takes a village, it really takes a city. And I think we are all just trying to do the best for everyone. And many cities around the world are showing that when they chose the bicycle and they invested, they really make a commitment to create more bike-friendly infrastructure and allow anyone to ride a bike, not just the mammals, the very determined cyclists. There's a benefit to everyone, especially for drivers. Any last comments then, so we can keep this short? It's already 24 minutes.
I was going to say, no wonder our webcasts go long when we have guests on, Luis. So much to talk about.
Oh yeah, I could talk about this the whole day, but it's so nice and sunny outside.
That's right. Yeah, we need to get outside and ride. So no final comments from me other than keep riding, keep keep doing whatever you can, even in conversations, to tell others how much you're enjoying riding if you're enjoying riding. I think that goes a long way to just changing the momentum of our city. So I think this is an important moment, and I hope that we'll have more and more good stories to share in the coming webcasts or in the coming weeks and months.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, I'll just leave an invitation for you to ride your bike today. And I think another great thing to do this time of the year is also to grow your veggies, have a garden. And I just saw that Urban Roots are opening their gate sale today at 4 to 8, close to Meadow Lily. I think it's Norland Avenue. So you can combine the two and can get your bike and go visit their mini farm. And of course, they are taking all precautions, to keep physical distancing and keeping everyone safe. So thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day.
See you later.